Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
Welcome one, welcome all. We're fucking back. I'm your co-host for the evening, A1, and this is It's Almost Time, presented by Real Ninjas Network. With me tonight, as always, resident hater, Mr. Paul Wilby.
What up?
What up, man? A long time no see. It feels like this. It's been like a month. I mean, it's been 3 weeks.
Right.
But yeah, we back. We here. And we are hitting y'all with the first ever It's Almost Time review trifecta. That's right. 3 that we're going to go ahead and go over tonight because we so far behind. I'll take the blame for it. I was moving. I don't even remember what happened to me last weekend or the last time we were trying to go. But it's on me. I'll take the brunt of it. Go ahead. Give me the booze. Come on. Where are the booze? But better late than never, right? So we're going to jump right into it because, yeah, we have 3 cards to go over. We never touched on the results of UFC 305, Adesanya versus Duplessis. We have not followed up on Cannonier and Bohio. And then last weekend's card, which, man, I didn't even write down the main event, but I got the fight of the night, performance of the night wrote down. That way we're good to go there. Oh, yeah, Gilbert Barrino Burns versus Sean Brady. But we can go way back, 3 weeks back, and we're going to talk UFC 305 Duplessis versus Adesanya first. I'm going to try to remember exactly what all we had picked for our parlays. I know my parlay pick for this card because I fucking lost. But yeah, we'll jump right into it. It's going to be kind of a quicker recap. I'm not going to touch on it as much. And plus, some of these fights feel like a lifetime ago. Kicking off UFC 305, we had Stuart Nickel versus Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar with a first-round submission. Let me jump over to my other handy-dandy cheat sheet. And, well, I'm going to try to. Yep. Done close that one out. Give me just a second.
Correct.
Man, I swear. Man, getting the booze tonight, getting the crickets. Not the best way to start off a 3-week hiatus, but we here, and like I said, we gonna get into this. Where we go? Where is it? Okay, I was like, man, I didn't miss that many cards, but nah, they're showing the road to UFC and some semifinals and stuff like that. But yeah, let's see here. There we go. Jesus Aguilar, a guillotine choke first round submission over Stuart Nickel. Next fight, I actually do kind of remember this one because I was kind of impressed. Was Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. Song with the unanimous decision victory, looked very dominant in doing so. Hats off to him. None of those are fight of the night or performance of the night. Next up, we had Alex Reyes versus Tom Nolan. Also ended in a decision. Unanimous decision win for Nolan. Next up. Yo. So I don't know what this means for sure because I don't think I've ever seen this on SureDog before, but we had Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. If I remember right, though, Jenkins was Mr. Cornbread's parlay pick for the week.
Okay.
And so Jack Jenkins with a TKO in round
3.
So
I
I don't
One of
know.
our internet's cutting out. I don't know. You're back now, though.
I'm back now. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no, in parentheses it said retirement, so I don't know if Jenkins
Oh,
retired
shit. What?
or what happened. Yeah. I'm kind of I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't remember him retiring when I was watching, but man. So Cornbread was up to I think 19 wins now, and he's still in the lead. Next up, we had Luana Santos versus Casey O'Neill. O'Neill actually surprised me. I thought Santos was going to win this, and Casey O'Neill with the unanimous decision victory. Joshua Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. This ended in a split decision. Ramos getting the nod. This is actually a back and forth fight. Not showing anything about fight of the night or anything like that. No performance of the night, but this was a decent fight. To end out the prelims, I believe, was Walter Walker versus Junior Tafa. And Tafa dropped this one with was a first round submission due to a heel hook. Walker got the win, and then to be honest, I wasn't too surprised with that. Walker's got an established ground game. I don't know if I've ever seen Tafa be on the ground before. He likes to swang and bang, just like his brother Mario and Luigi, as Dre would like to call them. But dropped that one. Kicking off the main card, though, this is actually one of my favorite fights of the night. Was Li Jingliang versus up-and-coming Carlos Prates. Prates looked phenomenal, like always. Li Jingliang had never been knocked out prior to this, but got slept in this one. It was a what was it? A second round KO. Yeah, 4 minutes and 2 seconds for round number 2. KO due to punches, had him rocked hard, and then finished him off, dropped him. And I mean, there was no doubt. It wasn't no controversial stoppage. It was legitimate. And so is Prates. I think he's got some big things coming up for him moving forward. And I look forward to seeing him fight every time Prates fights. So that's kind of what you get. You get a decent outing, at least up to this point. Next up, we had my least favorite fight of this card, and that was Jairzinho Rosenstruck versus Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. Again, this actually went to a split decision. Should not have been a split decision. Tuivasa lost this fight hands down. One of the judges had it 29-28 for Bam Bam, though. And a nice little random fun fact, because this card was hosted in Australia. You score bad as a judge in Australia, and they pull you from the rest of the card. So they relieved that judge of his judging duties for the remainder of the night after that call, because Rosenstruck won. Wasn't impressive. He just kind of outpointed him. And again, when you get two heavyweights like this that actually have a name for themselves, and 15 minutes goes by and nobody's sleeping, y'all did something wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically what happened. It ended in a split decision. But again, Jairzinho definitely won the fight, outpointed Tuivasa. Tai had some shots, did a little bit, but I was not really impressed with either one of them, especially if you're trying to move up and challenge for anything, anybody in top 5. No bueno.
Suckers.
Go ahead.
I said suckers.
Yep, suckers. But like I said, Prates got a performance of the night bonus. This next fight, and this was your parlay pick. You picked Gamrot, I believe.
I think so too, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan the Hangman Hooker. And man, Dan Hooker is disappeared for a year. Came back straight, tatted the fuck up. He's got sleeves everywhere, just big old chest piece. It's like when you're in a UFC creative fighter and you're going through your career, you unlock a bunch of points and you just spend them all on aesthetics. That's what Hooker did. But it's like he unlocked a new mythical fighter. Hooker's always been game to just fight. This dude loves fighting. But he brought this fucking fight to Gamrot. Gamrot obviously is a pressure fighter, likes point fighting, a lot of decisions in his career. You knew he was going to put the pressure on and try to wrestle him. He's going to try to take him down, and he was going to try to hold him down and point fight him. Hooker wanted nothing to do with it. Actually, I think in the first or maybe the second round at Gamrot, hurt. It was back and forth, and I'm not gonna say Gamrot was completely outclassed, and the judges didn't either, because this ended up going to a decision, and Dan Hooker won by a split decision. But I think it went to the right guy. I just the way Dan was fighting, the shots that Hooker was putting on him, he leveled the fuck up, man. He also, I think it was in between the second and the third round, his corner's talking to him, giving him advice. He just looks up at him with a big old shit-eating grin. He goes, man, I fucking love this shit. Like, this dude he likes to fight. He fucking likes being there, and he likes to entertain. So as a fight fan, I respect the fuck out of that. Split decision victory for the Hangman. Called out anybody in the top 5. He said, give me anybody. I'll fight anybody. Give me a title eliminator. Give me top 5. I don't care what it is. I want to fight. He earned himself a fight of the night honors. Actually, both of them did. So they both got a bonus for that one. Unfortunately, you dropped your parlay. I don't feel too bad, because leading into the next fight, the co-main event of the evening, we had Kai Kara France versus my boy Steve Erceg. Erceg coming off a very competitive performance against the champion Pantoja. I thought he was going to be too much for Kai Kara France, and Kai didn't get my memo, I guess. He didn't hear that he was supposed to drop this one. It was back and forth a little bit, but it didn't last long. Just right about 4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes and 4 seconds. First round TKO.
Hey.
Kai Kara France got himself a nice little dub, puts himself back in the title talk. So, yeah, it was not a bad fight. Not the outcome I wanted, because obviously we've been trying to catch this motherfucker leading the Parlay Pals championship for some time now. And, I mean, we etched it down close, and then just it didn't happen.
Contender Series is happening right now.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to have to watch it on demand. I actually with the move and whatnot, I no longer had access to the ESPN Plus. So went and got myself the Disney bundle, Disney, Hulu, ESPN, get to watch a little bit of everything. So I've been catching up. And one thing I did not know they did, I knew that a couple months after that they would air the fights or the previous pay-per-views on demand. But literally 3 weeks later, you can go watch it. I fucking guess I could go back and rewatch this card on demand on ESPN Plus for free. So that's kind of dope.
Yeah, going through the archives is pretty cool.
Yep. And how they got a handful of basically a whole title fights category. They got I think they went back as far pay-per-view wise as 286 or 288 or something like that. So you got a handful of fucking pay-per-views.
Maybe I was thinking of Fight Pass. On Fight Pass, they have I think every fight that's happened that they have on TV.
Yep, Fight Pass will do that. I don't know when or how soon after the pay-per-view runs that they upload those onto Fight Pass. But I was that there was that many pay-per-views available through ESPN Plus. I'm not complaining though, because he doesn't like to watch fights.
I think Fight Pass kind of sucks, honestly. I think UFC Fight Pass should just be a category on ESPN Plus.
I think you're right.
With all the UFC content.
Yeah, but UFC, they want to get all the money they can, so that they got it separate. I think it's an extra $10 a month or something.
That's whatever. They get no money out of me.
But the main event of the pay-per-view was Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya finally making his return after almost a year of being inactive. This was the fight he originally wanted. Du Plessis backed out due to injury. That's when Strickland stepped in and shocked the world with a crazy dominant unanimous decision victory over Israel Adesanya. Adesanya was saying at that time, I might not fight until 2027. Y'all are gonna miss me by the time I come back. That didn't last long though, because in January, Duplessis and Strickland fought. Duplessis with I think it was a split decision victory over Strickland, and got himself and and called out Izzy right away. They waited 6-7 months to make it happen, but when they did, this fight was decent. And I will just a breakdown of the main event. I like the way that it went. Oh, also honorable mention before we jump into that. Car France got a performance of the night bonus as well for what he did to Usyk. So he did something right, got himself a little bonus. But Izzy and Duplessis, where do I start, man? I will give Izzy credit because Izzy looked hungry again. Izzy looked like the Izzy we remember, contender Izzy, the one that wanted to go out there and dominate. Actually had Duplessis in a lot of trouble the first round or two. Just looked like he was a sharper fighter. Duplessis was winging and missing. Wasn't really trying much for takedowns. It's a little back and forth, but basically 2 or 3 rounds, I had Izzy up 3 rounds going into the 4th round. And man, when I tell you Duplessis, he looks sloppy, but the guy makes the shit work. This is one of the sloppiest looking strikers I've ever seen. But in the 4th round, caught Izzy with a nice combo. I think an overhand right or an overhand left. Got him stumbled. And as Izzy kind of stumbled back, was trying to get composure, Duplessis went in for the shot, got his back, and got himself a rear naked choke. First submission loss of Israel Adesanya's career, and still middleweight champion Dricus Duplessis. But I guess what that equates to is that now Israel Adesanya has lost 3 of his last 4 fights.
Misleading statistic. Gotta look at the opponents.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm not taking anything away from him. I mean, he had the 2 fights back to back against Pereira. He got TKO'd in stunning fashion, actually, in the 5th round after winning and dominating most of that fight. Got stopped. 4 months later, they run it back. He finally gets the KO win over Pereira. So he's 1-3 against him in combat. Obviously Israel or Pereira at that point decides to move up to light heavyweight. Izzy told everybody good luck, and again Izzy was right there because this dude has not been beat at 205. I don't know if he's getting beat here anytime soon at 205. I think it's going to take a heavyweight to beat him if he does move up. But yeah, so he had the loss to Pereira, got one back, then the loss to Strickland, and now a loss to Duplessis. This is actually obviously the first time he's lost back-to-back in his career as well. And actually, just as of today, Israel Adesanya is no longer ranked in the pound for pound. They removed him.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, Pereira sits at rank 2. Man, how the turns have tabled.
I think Ankalaev could beat Pereira pretty easy.
I don't think so. I think that a lot of people think that, but I don't see it happening, especially Blachowicz had him down in his light heavyweight debut, wasn't able to capitalize. And I'm not saying Blachowicz is the same level of wrestler or submission specialist that Ankalaev is, but I think people are heavily underestimating Pereira's ground game. Just with him training with Glover Teixeira, I don't see it happening. You got to get close to the guy first of all to be able to take him down, and anybody that's gotten close enough to him, it ends up going to sleep. They take a nap.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. It could be hype. I could be blowing smoke. But I feel like Ankalaev thinks it's going to be easier than it is. And again, anybody that's getting ready to fight Poatan, don't stand with the dude. Do what you're good at. Don't get into a pissing contest with
unless you're good at striking. Unless you're good at kickboxing, don't do that because he's better.
Yep, for real. And he showed Yuri that twice. And not to say that Yuri's necessarily a kickboxer, but he's a striker.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. Like Pereira is on another level. He's Glory's best kickboxer they've ever had, first and only simultaneous 2-division champion. But we're getting
I'd like to watch.
a little bit.
True.
Because Pereira wasn't even on these cards, and somehow I'm talking about Peloton. Fanboying a little bit, but it is what it is. Next up, as far as the fight cards go, we had UFC Fight Night, Jared Cannonier versus Kyle Bahayo as the main event. Let me go ahead and pull up my handy dandy sheet. I got my fight of the night, performance of the night bonuses there, but I'm gonna need to get a better look at where'd it go. Oh, I was like, none of these fights have happened. It took me away from where I needed to be. There we go. So Cannonier versus Bahayo. Kicking off that fight card in the prelims, we had Kong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo.
Long Wang.
And Wang with a first round KO over Victoria Leonardo. This was a flyweight match, and let me tell you, this is like one of them. It didn't take very long, 1 minute and 2 seconds. As soon as she connected clean, Leonardo went to sleep. Wang, actually, she was kind of pissed, and in her post-fight, she goes, "What the hell am I doing on the prelims, yet alone a fight night card? Y'all need to be putting me on the UFC pay-per-view main cards. I'm too good for these bitches." And she might be, because she made it light work of Leonardo. No performance of the night bonus, but she should have gotten it because it was, again, very impressive. Let me take a quick look too. Who were the I think actually this card, I feel like everybody dropped their parlay on this card. Or maybe we all got the notch. I don't remember. Hold on. Yeah, I think we all won on this one. Now that I think about it, and let me double check on the. Let me go back into the chat, just where I can pull this up. This is also
the Cannonier card.
Yeah, a Cannonier card. Because I know Dre had Bahayo for his parlay pick. Let me see here. Man, we do a lot of talking and bullshitting. Okay,
Yeah.
Yep. Kyle Bahayo, Michael Morales, and Jacqueline Cavalcante. Speaking of Cavalcante, she kicked off the second fight of the card against Josiane Nunez and got herself a split decision over Josiane Nunez. And I might have been a little biased because I was pulling for Cavalcante, but I feel like that it went to the right person. She was more active, had more octagon control, and yeah, there wasn't a whole lot Nunez was doing. Josiane, and I'm not saying she's done, but she might be getting kind of closer to on her way out, or just there's a new generation coming in that's a little bit better than she is. So yeah, Cavalcante split decision victory. So I cashed out on my parlay there. Or my pick. Okay, yep. Next up we had Vyacheslav Borshev versus James Lowenthal.
Slava Claus.
Yep. And you know what you're getting with this dude every time he fights, and I kind of like it because, again, he's just one of them fighters that likes to fight. He likes to hit people. You don't mind getting hit. This one was back and forth, but ultimately Borshev got a split decision victory. We had next up was Zachary Reese versus Jose Medina. A lot of fucking decisions on the prelims anyways.
Trash.
Reese with the unanimous decision victory over Medina. Next up on the card, it was Francis Marshall versus Dennis Bazookia. I don't know why. It's not like I'm a big Matt Serra fan, but I've always pulled for Bazookia anytime he's fought. I mean, he's only fought 3 times now in the UFC. but I always pull for him, and I should know better by now because he dropped it. Unanimous decision. Yep, unanimous decision loss. Or no, split decision loss. And it shouldn't even have been split. Bazookia just wasn't doing enough, was getting pieced up. So shout out to Francis Marshall. Francis the Fire Marshal, if I believe. If I'm right on the nickname, it sounds about right. The upset of the fucking night, man. Gerald GM3 Mearshart versus Edmund Shabazian. And any casual that has watched in the last few years probably only knows Gerald Mearshart because of Hamzat Shemaev and sleeping him with one shot. Like, put this motherfucker to sleep in like 30 seconds. First time he touched it slumped. Yep. Shabazian was heavily favored in this fight too. I think like plus or minus 300 or minus 400 favorite to win. And actually, Mearshart was almost out, I think, in the second round. Or no, in the first round, almost had him out. And Mearshart did enough to kind of get through it, survived. Second round, 4 minutes and 12 seconds, got a Shabazian submission, arm triangle choke. Would have put him to sleep. He had no choice but to tap. So Mearshart with a big upset. Moving forward, I believe this was the beginning of the main card. We had Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. And yeah, Morales is on the same page as Prates. These guys are the real deal. I would hate to be in that division and have to fight Morales because at this point you're going to need to test him more. Neil Magny's kind of always been a gatekeeper. It's to kind of test the up and comers to see if they're ready. And boy,
probably going to get a ranking spot out of it because Neil's 12.
Yeah. So Morales is probably 11 now. Because he beat Magny and he made it look easy. Magny tried to pull guard or take him to the ground, and Morales said, no, get back up here so I can sleep you. I made light work of it. 4 minutes and 39 seconds. TKO Michael Morales by punches. So we cashed out on the second of the 3 picks for the Fight Night parlays. Not bad. Especially after the weekend before. With I think 2 out of the 3 hit or something like that. But let me see here. Okay, yep. Next up was Myron Santos versus Keon Ofle. Second round KO win by Santos due to punches. I kind of remember this, but I don't. I've had so much going on, man. Like I said, I feel like even that Izzy pay-per-view was fucking 3 months ago. But yeah, Santos with a unanimous, or no, not unanimous, but KO due to punches. Oh, okay. Performance of the night. I missed both Michael Morales and Gerald Mearshart got performance of the night bonuses. Co-main event of the, or no, I'm skipping one. There was a Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentine. Second round KO by Loder due to elbows. This one was actually pretty brutal. Co-main event was Tabitha Hichi versus Angela Hill. And I had this one picked all wrong. I know Angela Hill, her prior fight, looked really fucking good. Actually got one of her first ever decisions. Or no, one of her first ever finishes.
I was gonna say, no way, bro.
Yeah, no.
Bilal Muhammad.
If you go, actually, it looks like the last time. Oh, that's why she. Hold on. What's going on? Okay, yeah. Last time she had a TKO was back in January of 2020. She had beat Hannah Siffers by elbows and punches. But yeah, I think this was her first submission, or her first submission win ever was back in May against Luana Pinheiro, Brazilian Halle Berry. But yeah, she fought Tabitha Hichi and lost a unanimous decision over 3 rounds. And honestly, if it would have gone 5, I don't think she would have been able to do much to right the ship. I was pulling for Angela, but I had it wrong. Shout out to TiiiME for doing what she did. And then the main event of the evening was Kyle, the Natural Bahio, versus Jared Cannonier. And this actually ended up getting fight of the night honors. It was back and forth, and for the first 3.5, 4 rounds, it was a very evenly matched fight. Cannonier actually looked like he was getting the better of Bahio at some points. I knew though, and I was telling I think my pops, if this goes to a decision and it's close, they're gonna give it to Bahio. Because Cannonier's kind of been in here for a while. They've really been pushing Kyle. And for good reason. The dude is good. He's charismatic. He sells some fucking tickets. But that 5th round basically put a stamp on it. Because Bahio just overwhelmed Cannonier with punches. Actually had him rocked and dropped to the point to where they probably could have stopped the fight. But the ref, knowing Cannonier as well as they did, they let him fight through it. He survived. Unanimous decision victory, though, for Kyle Bahio and fight of the night bonuses. So last weekend, or not this last weekend, weekend before, all 3 parlay picks hit. And this is why you fuck with the parlay pals, because a lot of times we know what we're talking about. As long as we're betting with our brain and not our heart.
We're not allowed to do that half the time. Pick a fighter.
Yeah, you're not allowed to pick fucking over-unders.
Not allowed to make smart bets. You got to pick a fighter.
Yeah, well, and that's for the entertainment purpose of the Parlay Pals Championship.
You're right.
But and actually,
yeah,
last weekend there might be an asterisk if I end up pulling away and I win the Parlay Pals Championship, and it's by 1, Andre's gonna be salt. Because this is the second card now. Our mans did not make a parlay pick. We actually didn't even make a parlay pick until the main card started last weekend. Just got busy doing shit, and we forgot to lock it in. So I hit up the group, and I said, hey, boys, it's parlay time. Parlay, boys.
Yes.
Parlay, boys.
And so I said, pick your parlays. I said, by the way, I'm taking Sean Brady. And the resident hater in true hater fashion, he goes, hey, I don't know if this is allowed, but can I pick Burns? And I said, well, since we didn't go on and we didn't announce anything, you pick whoever you want as long as it's not just over under.
I kind of like it because it ups the stakes even more because it's like, well, if one of us wins, one of us loses.
Yep. And I was thinking, too, as we get down the stretch here, if we get Mr. Breddington involved, because I swear he's MIA, do we need to send out a search party?
Actually, I don't think it is allowed technically because, like, if you're actually making a parlay, you can't do that.
Yeah, because then your parlay is going to break no matter what.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I guess technically we probably shouldn't do that, but it was fun for that one time.
Yep. And I'm thinking as we come down this final stretch, what we can do to up the ante to where it can be anybody's championship to win. We've been going strictly money line so far this year. We are actually 30 fights in, 30 cards, 30 picks, 90 if you count all 3 of us, 90 picks, and it's all been money line. But down the stretch, we're gonna up the ante if you want to. Of course, you don't have to. But what we're gonna do is not only you pick who you want to win. If you pick the method, that's 2 points. But the only draw is that if your pick hits and it's not by the method you want, you get 0 points. So you got a way you could double up, but you better be sure that you know the winner and the method in order to do so.
I think you should get -2 points if you lose. Double the risk, double the reward, double the punishment.
But if you're a fighter and you win, you don't lose a notch if you lose your next fight.
I was talking about the current fight, not like betting. I guess I don't understand what you mean.
Well, no, that like what I'm saying, like obviously, so if you pick hypothetically, if I were to have picked Brady by decision and it hit, I would get 2 points.
Yeah.
But if let's say I had picked Brady by submission and he won by the decision, you get the 0 points.
Yeah.
You don't get nothing tallied in.
Yeah, but like that's just like a normal loss. Every loss is 0 points. So I think you should be more punished for going for double.
So maybe -1.
Sure.
There we go.
That way the loss isn't as equal as a normal loss.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, on to last weekend's fight night. Main event again was Sean Brady versus Gilbert Durinho Burns. Kicking off the night, we had Nathan Fletcher versus Zygomatis Ramaska. Probably butchered that name, but it's all good because he got butchered. Second round submission for Nathan Fletcher due to arm triangle choke. Next up, we had Andre Petrosky versus Dylan Budka. This ended in a decision, unanimous decision for Petrosky. I'm still not sold on Andre, and I ain't talking about cornbread. I'm talking about Petrosky.
Yeah.
His
Petroleum
fight
jelly?
before this, he lost because he knocked himself out on the dude's pelvis.
Yeah, dude, that's petroleum jelly. Andre Petroleum Jelly.
Andre Petroleum.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Jacqueline Amorim versus Vanessa Demopoulos. First round submission by armbar. Amorim with the victory. Did not surprise me. Demopoulos, again, I haven't been too impressed with. But
She got a nice booty, though.
Yeah, well,
I shouldn't even say that. It's true, but like I still shouldn't say it on air.
You're gonna say what you're gonna say. We need the hater to stay true to what he does.
Oh, I ain't hating.
And love booties.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Amorim, remember the name because she's definitely gonna be somebody that is gonna be around for a minute. She's probably gonna make a good push. Yeah, strawweight division. Next up, we had Zai versus Gabriel Santos.
One name have an ass.
This one, other than it ended in a decision, unanimous decision. Gabriel Santos got the dub. Next up, we had Felipe Dos Santos versus Andre Lima. And if you're not familiar with who Lima is, he's the dude that got bit by the Petrino and then fucking went and got it tattooed after he got the DQ dub. But yeah, he fought Felipe Dos Santos, won a unanimous decision victory. This one was an all right fight, but nobody got the finish. Lima definitely won the fight, though. I remember that much. Isaac Dolgarian versus Brendan Murate. This ended in a submission the second round due to arm triangle choke. Is that the second one of the night? So 3 submissions so far over 6 fights. The rest of them decisions. But Chris Padilla said, "Hey, hold my shoes. I'm gonna go get me a KO over Zahu Wrong." Man, I'm butchering these fucking names. I'm gonna have to get back to form here before we go live next weekend. Chris Padilla, though, with the second round TKO, it was a doctor stoppage. Actually busted this dude's fucking head open, split him right above the eyebrow, and that shit. I thought I saw bone. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, 5 more fights on this card. We had Yanel Ashmos versus Trevor Peak. This one was actually a pretty entertaining fight, other than the fact it went to a decision. Ashmos definitely was the more aggressive fighter. Did enough, got the nod. They got it right. A lot of times, they got it right when it's unanimous decision, because now if anything's even remotely close, you get a fucking split decision. And half the time these judges don't know what the fuck they're watching, but that's kind of always been the thing, right? Then we had Matt Schnell versus Cody Durden. Durden pulled off a second round submission due to a ninja choke. And Chanel kind of ain't been the same since Usyk slept him. Next up, we had Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson. This is actually one of my favorite fights of the night, and for good reason. I mean, Steve Garcia looked really fucking good. It didn't last even 4 minutes. Yeah, right about at the 4-minute mark of round one. TKO due to elbows and punches. Had him hurt. Fucking did not let up. And yeah, got himself a dub and a performance of the night bonus. So $50K. Co-main event of the evening was actually my favorite fucking fight of the night, and it was Natalia Silva versus Jessica Andrade. Andrade has had a lot of ups and downs, and for as long as we've been watching Jessica fight, I thought she was getting kind of closer towards the end of her career. This girl's only 32, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I forgot how young she was when she debuted or when she got in and started doing her thing. Natalia Silva, though, is no fucking slouch either. This was fucking back and forth, though. And personally, I gave the slight edge to Silva after, like, when it went to a decision. But out of all the fights that happened on the card this night, this was my favorite fucking fight. UFC actually posted that Natalia Silva, or maybe they posted about the main event, and I commented on TikTok about how, personally, I thought the co-main event was the best fight of the night, and I had a bunch of casuals being like, "Oh, that's garbage, man. That's fucking no, it was good, but nah, blah 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 blah." Like I don't even remember what all everybody said. Well, I must have not been the only one because there was only 2 bonuses gave out last weekend, and that was for Steve Garcia's KO, and the fight of the night bonus went to Silva and fucking Andrade. Because this was back and forth, it was high paced. There wasn't really a break in action. I mean, they kept set an insane pace and kept it up for 15 fucking minutes. I was very impressed with both fighters. Even Andrade with her dropping it, I still give her all the credit for being a game competitor. She's not nowhere near being done. I'm sure she's going to bounce back. We'll probably see her again here pretty soon. But capping off last Saturday's fight night was the main event, of course, Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns. Sean Brady going into that fight at 16-1, his only loss to the now welterweight champion Belal Muhammad. And actually, I still remember when that fight happened, man. I thought for sure Brady was gonna fuck Belal up, and for Belal to get the second round TKO the way he did, it could have been a little bit early, but nah, Brady was out on his feet. Brady fought one time after that, got a decision win. Let me double check on who. It was, come on, man. It was there and then it wasn't. Yeah, he beat Kevin Gastelum, submission due to Kimura. I thought for sure that was a fucking decision. Maybe I'm thinking somebody else. But yeah, submitted Gastelum back in December of last year, fought Gilbert Burns on Saturday, and got himself a unanimous decision victory. Personally, I thought this fight was going to go one of 2 ways. Either Burns was going to get the TKO or Brady was going to ride out a decision. I feel like Burns is just too durable to be stopped that easy. It's going to take somebody that really knows what the fuck they're doing and has really got some power, somebody like Jack Della Maddalena, to make that happen. Burns just doesn't go to sleep easy. But this entire fight, Brady... There were spots where he was getting hit, but was in control for most of this fight. Just didn't. I don't know if Burns could just never get set, could never get his rhythm going, but felt like he was behind the entire fight. Brady, though, not taking anything away from him, probably had the best performance over the best fighter that he's ever fought. I don't know. People like to hate on Belal. Belal's good, though. There's a reason this dude's a fucking champion. Might not be the most entertaining, might decision, but yeah. Gilbert Burns is always one to entertain, always to go out there, try to strike, try to get them finishes, and he couldn't get the job done against Brady. It kind of felt like he was playing catch-up most of the night. So my parlay hit. Obviously, yours didn't because you picked Burns.
Naturally.
So, with that all being said, again, 30-fight nights into the year with probably 10 to 12 to go before the end of the year. We got Cornbread still in the lead with 19 dubs. I'm in a near second with 18 dubs. But then nipping right on my heels with 17 dubs, we got Paul. So coming down the stretch, it's still anybody's championship to win. So let's see how it goes. I know coming up here, though, one of the reasons I said, hey, we got to go this week. I know we're behind, but we can't not cover this card before getting to it. And that is the much anticipated UFC 306 at the Sphere in Las Vegas, Nevada. Main event of the evening, of course, is Sean O'Malley putting his bantamweight title on the line against Merab Dvalishvili. Hold on. What the hell is going on here? My phone's on crack. My phone is on crack because my phone is cracked. Getting a replacement here soon because I can't stand looking at it. It just makes me so upset. But yeah, main event, O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Co-main event, women's flyweight bout for the title. The trilogy match between Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. We've got Aldana versus Dumont. Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Bro, this is stacked, and a lot of people are hating because it's not fucking. It's not 300. Well, not every card's gonna fucking be 300. They still gave you a stacked card. Also, another notable mention: Raul Rosas Jr. versus Adric Kaling. I fucking butchered that one too. I can never say this dude's name. The one named Chinese fighter.
Oriquiling.
Mm-hmm. That's it. However you said it.
I was just spitballing, dude. I don't know if that's right or not. Oriquiling.
Our killing something. One name Chinese. There we go. That's the man who had one name. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, that's fire, actually.
But I actually believe. I feel like they're cutting off because there's no way that's the only early prelim is Rosas versus the man with one name. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say it for him just so he doesn't get dinged again for not picking. He's got two sons fighting, but I'm picking the OG son for him. So locking in Cornbread's Parlay Pals pick for UFC 306. Let's lock in Raul Rosas Jr.
I'm Betty Spaghetti.
Wait,
haven't Grasso and Shevchenko already fought twice, or is this the third?
Yeah, twice. This is the trilogy fight. The first fight, Grasso won by I think a 4th round submission, rear naked choke. Caught Valentina trying to do a spin kick, grabbed her back and took her down. Got the mount and got the rear naked choke. Literally turned Valentina into a tomato head looking bitch until she tapped. The rematch, though, was a fucking robbery. Valentina pieced Grasso up for at minimal 3 rounds. The first round and the 4th round, I could see going to Grasso. But other than that, it was Valentina's fight. Almost had a submission in the 2nd round. Really good pressure, really good pace for that entire fight. And it was a majority split or a split draw.
Motherfucker, dude.
Because one judge gave the fight to Grasso, one gave it to Shevchenko, and one had it as a draw. So they called it a majority draw.
Weird.
Shevchenko won that fight. And I was watching the UFC countdown just leading up to it. I like both of these girls, man. I love Grasso. I love what she's done. I kind of like how she came out. She shocked everybody by beating Valentina the first time. The second fight, though, there's no way. I saw it on her face after that fight happened that she was upset when they called it a split or a draw until she realized she got to keep her belt, and then she was okay with it. And Valentina was like, "Hey, let's run this back." And Gross was like, "Oh, I don't know. I have to talk to my man." I knew right then and there that she knew that she lost. But this whole lead up and them talking on Countdown, Grasso's claiming that she knows that she won that fight. And I'm like, no, the fact that she's delusional about what happened in that second fight, I think Valentina's coming for blood this time. I really think Shevchenko's about to fuck her up.
That's crazy. Both of the main and co-main events are both minus money, basically even.
Oh shit. You're right. Yep. Well, at least on the website, anyways. I'm not on any betting site right now, but
Yeah, same. I'm on UFC.
Yeah, UFC got O'Malley at minus 118 to DVALISHVILI's minus 102. And then you've got Grasso at minus 112 and Valentina at minus 108.
Both at minus money, damn, that's as even as it gets pretty much.
Yep, and plus you stack those and it actually gives you pretty decent odds as far as a parlay. I don't know where Rosas is sitting because they're not showing it. I guarantee you that Rosas is probably heavily favored. Probably gave him another can. But yeah, who you picking?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even considered that yet. These bunch of fucking nerds. I guess I'm gonna go with. Fuck, man. I don't know. This sucks.
These are my favorite kind of cards, man. Where like you really got to think about it. Like, wait, shit, who's gonna win these?
See, I don't like really having to think about it because then I realize I don't even have all my options. I only have two. Thinking about it does me no good when I only have two options. It's 50-50 at that point.
As the odds say, too, on two of those fights, too. And I mean, really, too, I'm surprised even more so about the odds with T-City and Diego Lopez. They got Lopez as a minus 175 favorite and Brian Ortega plus 145. This should be even, too. Man.
It's pretty close, I guess, kind of.
I don't get how Ortega's the underdog here.
I do. Diego has hype right now, dude.
It's just got to be because that's who the money's been coming in on the betting line, man. Because like
I don't know, you can find out what the opening odds were. Let's. Ortega opened as a plus 110.
So fuck, dude. So he's gone up as a dog a little bit by like 35.
Yeah.
But man, I'm surprised.
I mean, he's coming off the couch. When was the last time he fought?
He fought hold on, give me just a second.
It's been at least a year, right?
No, he fought fucking hold up, let me pull this up on SureDog. He's fought this year. He fought earlier this year. I could have swore. Hold on.
Yeah, he fought Yair Rodriguez.
What?
In February, I think.
February. So yeah, 6 months, 7 months, and he was supposed to fight Diego on short notice on 304, I believe it was, but then ended up had a bad weight cut that caused a fever, and his body was basically shutting down. That's when a 50K Ige stepped in on like 4 hours notice and fought Lopez at a catch weight and actually won the third round against Lopez. I can't really take anything away from Diego, though, because he had to weigh in like 3 different times that week for 3 different opponents. But yeah, no. So I'm surprised that yeah, Ortega's even a dog. Ortega's only got 3 losses on his record too, and 2 of them are to goats, and that's in Max Holloway and Volkanovski. Man, since you're pondering it, I'm gonna go ahead and lock mine in. Give me Valentina.
Oh, my bad. I thought I already said. Whoops.
Nope.
I think I'm gonna go with Marab.
Marab, huh?
Yeah.
I think you're throwing your pick away, but it's all good.
Well, it's crazy how you read my mind. I was just thinking, I wonder what A1 thinks of this pick. Just kidding. That's not what was crossing my mind.
Hate. That was good. You got me, man. Fuck. I was like, oh man, he really cares about what I think. Nobody cares about what you think. This is my pick, motherfucker.
No, I just had my feelings hurt because you roasted my pick, and I was like, "Fuck you, man."
Well, no, hey, and you could be right, man. I just watching my take on it and my logic, anyways, about why I would not pick Marab is up to this point. Yeah, he's on a 9-fight, 10-fight win streak right now. He's actually done it the hard way too. He's fought the best of the best in the division to even get to where he's at. He put on a clinic against my guy Pieter. Made takedowns against Cejudo look fucking easy. And the dude's got mad cardio. He's just a little fucking chinny, though. I've seen this dude get rocked so many times against average strikers.
Ooh, you're probably right.
To where he's now about to fight one of the best strikers, not only in the bantamweight division, but one of the best, most technical strikers in the UFC right now, in Sean O'Malley. So I personally, I think that Sean's gonna get him probably round 2, maybe round 3. If it goes past that, though, he's definitely got a good shot. And I could be wrong. It could be complete domination by Marab. It could just be takedowns and pressure and wilting him, and maybe even some ground and pound TKO stoppage.
Hey, the people who do this for a living that are way better at it than us say it's 50-50, so I think it's pretty safe.
Yep. You could be right. But so yeah, it's official. Parlay picks. We got Rosas, we got Shevchenko, and we got Marab.
See if it'll let me place a bet.
Parlay boys.
Parlay boys.
Why you sound like Ben Steins here?
What? Oh, I spelled it wrong. What in tarnation? Spelled my own email wrong.
Hey, we did pretty decent. Under an hour to cover 3 cards and the upcoming cards. 4 cards in an hour.
Decent.
You don't get that on other streaming platforms or with other stream or podcasters about fights.
Oh my God, Rosas is minus 850, dude.
I told you.
A Rick Willing is fucked.
What's oh yeah, Lopez. Man, I almost want to lock Lopez in for
It's too late, dude. It's too late.
So what's the final stats then for all 3?
You picked Shevchenko. I picked Marab. Ooh, Shevchenko's plus money, dude. Shevchenko, this is so funny, dude. You're shit talking about my Marab pick, which is plus 114, and your Shevchenko pick is also plus 114. The exact same odds on DraftKings.
Oh, it's plus 114 on DraftKings, huh?
They're both the exact same, yeah, Marab and Shevchenko. But the overall parlay is plus 411.
Plus 411. Okay, that's got some juice in it at least, even with that minus 850 Rosas.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. Oh, yeah, two underdogs. Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
And technically, those shouldn't even be dogs, but and really what it is, too, is all the money's going on the other side. Everybody's picking Sean, and everybody's picking Grassa. I don't know. I feel like Valentina got a vendetta. She knows she won that last fight, and I think she's gonna come out and try to dominate and really put a stamp on it. So yeah, I'm team Valentina. Might be getting myself too behind again with that pick, but I'll take it. Man, all right.
Bro, we gotta hurry. I need to get to Walmart before they close, and I need to get ice cream.
Hey, well then on that note, we locked in our picks. We talked 4 fucking cards. What more do you want from us, internet? But on that note, I am A1 again with me, resident hater Paul, and this has been It's Almost Time. We'll see y'all Sunday night after the card. We will be coming back to talk this one. Again, we kind of got a new format where we are probably only going to be joining you the week before and the week after pay-per-views. We're going to figure out the fight nights in between, and we're just going to cover all the cards on that one right after. But we'll still be there with you, at least until we get settled in, get some stuff figured out, and then we can be back more often. But we'll still keep you up to date on everything that is UFC and UFC fight nights. So y'all have a good night. Like, subscribe, and beat the shit out of that subscribe button. Come on. We need y'all.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Y'all have a good night, though.
Yeah, peace out, gang.
This is the main event of the evening.